feel really safe to be in Korea during an outbreak like this. Spain or Italy or other countries in the European Union or even the US, I don't think many countries are as prepared as Korea.
Wait, did I just do that? Did I just answer the question in the title of this video in the first couple of seconds? Am I that bad of an editor? Maybe I am. Or maybe I'm just the kind of editor and director that likes to cut the BS and go straight to the answers. Anyways, hi, my name is Sarah, and welcome to Unheard Voices episode 4, a series where I take you into the real lives of people affected by the coronavirus internationally. This episode is near and dear to my heart because I am of Korean descent. And being of Korean descent, it was extremely important to me that I do a realistic view into what Korea is like. I don't want it to be biased, nationalistic, none of that. I want it to be real. That's why my subject of this video is a wonderful woman named Lorena from Spain. She's a young working professional who has been living in Seoul for several years. She knows more about Korea than I do. I don't know if you know this about Korea, but there are many foreign people living here, working, moving and shaking, and calling Korea their home. Lorena takes us into how the numbers in South Korea skyrocketed. It had something to do with that church. She also goes into the unique measures the government has taken to prevent infection. Does Korea look like what it does in the media? We also go into the social and political issues that parallel this whole crisis. I would love for you to meet Lorena. Take it away!
So I am Lorena. I have been living in Seoul for about 3 years now, and I work here as a model and fashion beauty editor and content creator. I moved here because I had a job offer. It was my first time in Asia, and I never had an interest in Asia before, but I ended up also falling in love with Seoul. My life here is either going to shootings or working in different cafes or sometimes even at my house. So I have a couple of friends that are also freelancers, and we co-work together many times in the cafes or in a library or stuff like that. And that's my day-to-day. I don't spend that much time in my house, at least before all this happened.
Well, this is Jenny. I'm from Sweden. Yeah. And she has given also her opinion. She has been living here for about also 3 years on and off. And we both live here and we don't feel concerned about our safety.
No, not at all.
So now, of course, with the whole corona situation, the government has not enforced but recommended that we try to spend less time outside. Of course, this is something that cannot be controlled, and right now, unfortunately, is going through many countries around the world. It can get pretty isolating as well, not only in terms of being to have to be at home, but also like not being able to be with your family through fear of maybe you contaminating them. Also, people looking at you differently for carrying a virus, which is like something that can happen to anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter your race, your skin color, it doesn't matter anything. I'm kind of more worried about the spread. For example, in countries like Spain and Korea, people don't really touch each other that much, but in Spain, when we greet someone, we like give like what we say, dos besos, which is like that's something that worries me with all my family and my loved ones. We don't have the technology that we have in Korea. Like Korea is really technology forward. Everything is pretty quick and advanced, but other countries are more traditional in terms of like how to live life. I'm a little bit more worried about the safety of the people I love in Spain than for my own safety in here. It might sound bad, but I think even Spain or Italy or other countries in the European Union, which I love, or even the US, I don't think many countries are as prepared as Korea to take care of stuff like this with such a quickness. Like, it's crazy.
I just came out from a shoot. I was shooting today, and as you can see, there are people like behind me, there are people on the streets. It's not as serious as it's portrayed in the media. So you can basically see that everything is fine. It's just people are wearing a mask. Everything is pretty normal. Everything is pretty safe, and the government is doing a lot of stuff to keep it under control. So I'm not worried any more than I will be in any other country.
So basically in here, if you are in Seoul, there are not that many cases. What happened in Korea was there was a lady from a cult that was suspected to have the virus and was advised 3 times by doctors to get the test for the coronavirus, but she said that she wouldn't want to get the test, and at the end came out as positive when she finally took the test. But in the meantime, because the religious association, they apparently pray very close to each other and they are not allowed to wear masks or anything like that. It has spread a lot among that region where that specific church group goes to have meetings. Many of the cases are in Korea are from people that belong to that religious church group or a cult, or I don't know, I'm not sure how to qualify it. Anyhow, that's the reason why in Korea the number of cases has so quickly skyrocketed. The main reason why is mainly on the area of Daegu, which is a city that's a little bit like south than Seoul. If Seoul is in here, Daegu is about like this side in Korea, a little bit over Busan. That region, Daegu, and a region to that, they are the ones that have the most cases. I don't know if it's about 90% of the or 80% of the whole cases that are here in Korea.
There are people like also shopping and stuff, so as you can see, it's just running as any normal time. Just people are wearing masks, and some people are not even wearing masks. All is full. There is nothing that is like missing. Nobody has gotten like all the food in order to like think that is like a catastrophe.
So some of the other measures that are being taken is like when you go into the subway, besides having sanitizer, they're constantly repeating in more than one language, at least in Korean, in Chinese, in Japanese, and in English, the symptoms and ways to avoid the coronavirus, and also the number that you're supposed to call if you have any symptoms that might be from the coronavirus. Testing in here is free for those people that have called the number. Another thing that I find super important as a foreigner and also like as a human, it makes me feel like they really care, is the fact that even if people are here illegal immigrants, they're still pushing for them to get tested, and they're letting them know that no information is gonna get taken from them. Another thing that is also very good is not only that they're spraying everywhere every couple of days in most cities, especially in Daegu area. I know the military is doing that. They have rentals, you can rent them for free, of sanitizing equipment that you can contact your main neighborhood district office in order to disinfect things like cafes, hapwons, like how is that in English? Like academies, stores or stuff like that. They have also like installed, you probably have seen around many pictures around the media, they have installed drive-thrus in order to have people tested. That way people don't have to even get out of their cars. That also minimizes a lot potential spread, so people don't have to go to hospitals, which is usually one of the main areas where people get infected. They also have apps about the coronavirus where you can see exactly where the people that were infected, you can see exactly the areas they have been in. They also send us messages all the time to everyone's phone, which also sometimes it makes me really skip a beat. It gets me so scared because it sounds like really like we're being bombarded, and it sounds like if you have your phone in silence mode, that alarm, it goes off. There was one point we were getting maybe 8 or like 9 a day, and they were letting us know in each area, each new case that showed up, in which region, in which hospital, in which neighborhood, so people will be informed. It was at the beginning, it was really hard to get masks because at the beginning when like this blew up, everyone was freaking out and they bought a lot of masks. I just bought 3 like any other time. 3 days later or 4 days later when I went back to buy, there were none. There were no masks anywhere. The only thing you could do was buying them online, and they were being really pumped up on price. But one thing the Korean government has done, they have made a way to prevent this from happening. Now when you go buy masks, you can buy them at normal price, even cheaper than it used to be sold, like 3,000 won, which is about $3. But now I went to buy masks the other day because I saw like masks finally after 2 or 3 weeks. I bought a pack that had 5 in them. They were like 7,000 won, which is much cheaper. This is because the government has bought a lot of supplies and has distributed them. And when you buy masks, now they're collecting your phone number, your name, and all that information to make sure that you're not buying more than you need. If someone is reselling them, they're gonna be charged with basically a crime.
So today's a Sunday and we're in a park around Seoul, and there's like not a ton of people, but like some people definitely. Yeah. And this is a park, not like a main area. So as you can see, people are still going out. How do you feel about the corona situation in Korea?
I'm cautious, but I'm not scared.
Same.
Yeah. So even if it doesn't look like I'm cautious because I'm not wearing a mask.
It's because there are not that many masks right now.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get one. But I mean, if I had one, I would wear it.
About how is life in Seoul, I cannot talk about life in Daegu or anything like that. Of course, nowadays you can see people less on the streets. Cafes and stuff are a little bit more empty, but it's not at all like a ghost town or anything like that. Like wherever you go, there are people. Subway and everything in rush hour is not as crowded as it used to be before. Sometimes when you go into the subway in rush hour, it can get scary. I took the subway yesterday on rush hour and it was pretty packed. Just not as much as it will usually be. I think Koreans, at the beginning, everyone, we kind of freaked out a little bit because it was something that we were not expecting to have here, and it just skyrocketed from one day to the other. But I think in general, people are now cautious but not super scared any longer. Also, main events have been cancelled through government. Many concerts and big group had cancelled their main stage here in Seoul, and the fans had decided to donate the money to the cause of coronavirus. And Fashion Week, which is something that personally touches me in my job environment, has been cancelled as well, which I was a little bit sad about, but I also of course understand. I'm super appreciative of all like attention to detail that Koreans pay, because look at that, that's like you can find hand sanitizer like that in every bus, in every store, this is an elevator, so just basically everywhere.
So I am at the hair salon today, and as you can see, it's like not super full, but there are people, the people getting treatments.
It's not as bad as put in the media. Of course, media wants to put things in the more how should I say, dramatic case. You see something dramatic, you're gonna click and you're gonna read it, and you kind of being in a little bit of paranoia state because you are reading all the time about news and stuff like that, and they blow it out so much out of proportion. But I don't think we should fall into fear. Also, fear is not gonna do anything. Fear also is one of the big things that makes your defenses and your immune system go down. So please stay calm, because that's gonna help you not get the virus.
So do you think in here is like ghost town, like there's no people out and stuff like that?
No, like people, they still have to keep on living. We haven't been prohibited to go outside yet, so everyone is just doing their thing. Just keep wearing a mask and yeah.
I'm living your life.
And living their life, yeah.
And what about, oh my god, this is so tough topic. You see, it's okay to take it off from time to time because it gets so hot. Do you feel scared to be here? Are you like scared at all?
No, I'm not.
Do you think Korea is handling it well?
Yeah, I think Korea, I feel like they are good at spreading information, but I feel like there are a few people that don't follow it.
Because this has been through a religious group that is also not considered mainstream religion, is kind of like considered a cult in here. There has been a movement going around with many Koreans being very angry about the whole situation. They believe it has been very, how should I say it, selfish that they have not gotten tested and have gotten Korea in such a big situation with so many people getting infected. There has been a petition going around that many people have signed in order to kind of dismantle the whole church group cult situation. The main leader from them has been prosecuted for like homicide and also for being a threat for public health. I don't think the trial has been going through yet. There is kind of like political issues and social issues going around this whole corona spread right now. With that, there has been also a lot of demonstrations from religious groups that have still, even though community group meetings are not allowed, they're not recommended. Like Fashion Week, as I said, has been cancelled, concerts, big events, festivals, but still many of these groups have decided not to cancel their church services. So this is making like many people quite outraged with the fact that they're putting other people in danger. I believe this is gonna pass. I'm hoping it's sooner than later. I believe that at the end of the day, this is something that unfortunately is gonna affect not only Korea, because what has been proven by this virus is that even though it's not very deadly, it is very highly contagious. I feel really safe to be in Korea during an outbreak like this. I'm hoping this is just going to be a way to like countries to be more ready to face stuff like this, and people to try to solve these issues together and not fight against each other. This being like the excuse to do like something racist or like to be mean towards someone makes my heart hurt a little bit. That like people, instead of trying to help each other in a situation like this, which we can all go through, they're deciding to spread hate. I'm hoping within the next month we're gonna be okay enough to go out without masks. I'm really hoping. Let's just try to get over it in the best way as possible. So please, people, be nice to each other. Stay safe.